to another dimension, surpassing the vastness of time and space. The Grand Thoughtmaturgist is here.
Alright, Earthlings. I've mentioned loot before in some of my other videos, and I thought we'd have a little butchers at how I've used loot in the past, and maybe have a sneaky little look at other ways to reward your players as well. So check these out. Now, there are some natural rewards that your party's characters will have simply by adventuring and exploring. Most systems have some kind of power gain, whether that be through experience points or improving skills. And so playing groups that are keen to explore and take part in adventures will be naturally rewarded over time through either the gaining of levels or the increasing of their skills, therefore becoming more competent. Players do also seek some kind of monetary or financial reward, therefore allowing their characters to be able to buy better equipment and aiding their growth in power. This also helps with the power creep, as superior equipment can add to their abilities. Another natural reward system for some players is the moral reward. In playing a role, they may well wish to be heroes, and reward for them is doing the right thing in-game. And that could be helping those in need, saving others from danger, and conducting themselves in a moral or ethical way. Those kind of moral rewards are sufficient for some players, as that may well be the reason those players are playing role-playing games. So I think it might be worth considering each of those aspects of reward when considering the total reward for each adventure. Perhaps your party is not that interested in gaining gold, and are more interested in making sure each village they come across is left better off from their passing. Maybe they want to help every waif and stray on their journey, and that's fine. But depending on your system, in some games there might be a standard power creep that needs to be adhered to so that your characters can continue to advance in levels without too many bumps in the road. But ultimately it's down to how you want to run the game and how your party enjoys the game. Often, when it comes to in-game financial rewards, such as treasure your party might find in a dungeon, or loot they might find on a vanquished monster, there is always the option of using random generation tables that you might find in the system you're using. And that certainly has a place for creating random loot on the fly. But often I consider the risk versus reward of each situation the party enters. It is often logical to try and match the prize to the task, namely reward matching risk. But consider the added complications of offering scant rewards, or even overly generous ones. The poor group watching their pennies may become more careful and calculating, whereas a wealthy group lobbing cash left, right and centre may become a bit of a target for all your local ne'er-do-wells. In the case of in-game financial reward, and as I quite like a more realistic game, I take in consideration such things as poor villagers may have big problems, but poor villagers have little to offer a group of adventurers. As well as that, not every wandering warband are carrying around trucks of loot. Maybe your party interrupted the raiding party before they done their raiding. And while we're on it, dragons don't have pockets usually, so slaying one out of their lair may not be financially beneficial to a party. Maybe the party will have to hunt down its lair to find the treasure hoard, or maybe someone else got there first, or maybe look to the corpse itself for financial reparation. But when you think about these things, it can sometimes open up the opportunity for more potential adventures. These sort of approaches are worth using sparingly, of course, as if you have a party of players who are focused on gaining in-game cash for their characters, and who are then unable to do so, may well get quite frustrated or tired of not being able to do so. So as I always say, it's best to tailor this to your group. There are other kind of rewards aside from monetary gain, such as fame and renown. If your party is doing good in every town that they come across, or even if they're doing evil, word of your player characters' escapades could travel ahead of them, whether that be through jaunty bard songs, travellers' tales, or maybe news articles locally, nationally, globally, or even galactically. At the end of the day, people love a story, so why not share your party's tale in-game? People may well start approaching your player characters, seeking aid after hearing tell of their tale. But this can also have a downside too, as villains or criminal organisations may well also hear about the party. Maybe they'd rather not have any potential adversaries, or depending on your party, potential rivals. That may well open up the opportunity for any assassins or bounty hunters sent by those criminal organisations to find a bit of an easier time finding any player characters with their faces plastered all over the news service. Also, as fame starts to spread of your group, people may approach your party to join them, or even to learn from them. A young lad may approach your warrior and ask if he needs a new squire, but fame can work in many ways. An innkeeper who recognises your party may be overjoyed to have them stay at his establishment. There could be scuffles in the street where rival innkeepers all want your party to stay at their place, therefore potentially increasing their revenue, as word spreads that the heroes are staying at the Hairy Bullock Inn. Your party might get discounts. Tradesmen may well be keen to have your party dressed in their armour or using their weapons. Another potential reward idea is that your party could become celebrities. Suddenly, powerful people will want to be seen with them. Maybe they'll start to be invited to noble banquets or high-powered corporate events. Maybe they'll even be asked to appear in advertising for said corporations. But I suppose that goes with power and fame, and it's worth considering. Also, fame can bring other benefits as well, like having the locals all trust your characters more, which can open the way to gaining more powerful allies and resources, and also to knowledge too. Perhaps those new allies and friends you made from your last jaunt turn out to have valuable information that can help you in another area. Maybe that bloke who was rescued turns out to be some heir to a well-known ship manufacturer, and now your player characters can get access to some saucy little bargains. In time, the most powerful elements of your world may well hear about these heroes of yours. Perhaps your characters might be offered property or land, perhaps even titles. This could potentially add a whole new aspect to your game. What will happen if one of your party becomes a noblewoman and now has to look after the running of her hamlet, make sure that all her citizens are healthy and well? It's worth bearing in mind that before you do such, you'll have to consider if that's what you and your players would actually enjoy doing. Going from a dungeon-delving, adventurous, travelling band of heroes to suddenly having the responsibility of an hamlet of land and the people who dwell within it may not be to everyone's taste. Of course, if they become nobility, there's all that bloody politics they got to get involved with, people using them for their own ends. All the schmoozing and sycophants will start to gather around them, hoping to win favour. Maybe new and powerful rivals might rise from such a reward. When it comes down to financial rewards, it's also a good place to be able to introduce more of that juicy little lore to your games. You can include small details. Perhaps the jewellery that your party finds is of a foreign design. Maybe there are strange cargo crates or storage boxes in that pirate base that you don't recognise, therefore hinting at other cultures, races and species in your world. I think it's always nice to add a bit of history when it comes to magic items and artifacts. Powerful items that your party might find should each have their own individual flavour, I think. Each of those items could be found to have their own histories. Who used to own them? Who created them? What powerful wizard helped forge such a great and wondrous item? What hero from past eons wielded the blade on the battlefield of some ancient land? I think there's plenty more to be said about magic items, and I really enjoy creating new and wonderful items for parties to find. So I think I'll leave magic items there for another video perhaps. So make sure to subscribe for future videos. Loot itself can also pave the way to further adventure. Perhaps through research you find out a magic item belonged to some so-and-so who was rumoured to have vast amounts of wealth in a secret vault. There could be a little map on it or some clue to finding that vault. Maybe the party discovers a key, an ancient key with one name scrawled on its side, revealing that it could be the key of so-and-so's tomb. And rumour has that some powerful artefact was buried with so-and-so when he died. Your party might find an ancient alien tome in with the loot stolen by the pirates, and now fallen into the player character's hands. Will the aliens come looking for that sacred codex? Have they already been looking for it? Maybe it's a key in preventing an intergalactic war, all unbeknownst to your party, of course. When your party finishes the dungeon and takes out the orc boss, you find that they've got a chest of foreign gold. But where was that coin from? When they find out, it reveals information on the villain who was paying the orcs. And to be fair, there could be written clues that hint at other adventures. Maybe notes, diaries, maybe even maps to hidden treasure. And each of those is just a great excuse for a cheeky little handout for your group. So there's just a few ideas of how you can create some rewarding rewards for your group that aren't just a big stack of coin. Let me know in the comments below any amazing rewards you've received or any you might have handed out. And I hope to see all you lovely little sausages in the next video. Like, subscribe and whack the old bell, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Ta-ra!